Thank you for joining me again. My name is Lindsay Gardner, and today I'm going to show you how to manipulate the ball, as well as how to use the tee both in your green zone and your yellow zone attacks. The first thing I want to talk about is the numbers on the front of the ball. Now, this is going to be thought of as it's like coming at me. Okay, obviously you're not going to be able to see the numbers on the ball if it's being pitched at you, but the idea is to consider that there's sections of the ball that you could be staring at. I think a lot of times players end up going with the ball because they tend to look at the top inside half only. They see this ball as it's coming in at them, and because the top inside half is closest to their vision, that's just naturally where they want to look. That forces them to hit inside of the ball at a later time, even if they're trying to pull the ball. Okay, so if you're thinking of this like my player, sometimes they get jammed a lot. All right, it looks like the ball is like attacking their bat as opposed to them sending the ball with force. Chances are all they really need to do is learn how to look at the bottom outside half of the ball. So for right-handed hitters, if you're going to try to hit the ball to your left center gap or down your pool side line, so the left field line, you would be going for the 9 or outside of the 9. Okay, that is going to make the ball go to that side of the field as it's coming in there. So instead of staying above this ball, when you know how to go for the 9, you would need to also look at the 9. That puts your body on plane. Okay, and if you think about the 3 planes of motion that your body is able to do, you've got your transverse motion, which is the ability that the lower half can separate and pull the upper half. So when we hit, we've got 2 ways to do this rotation. If you happen to get beat and you stay back on the back side, it would be more that front leg that's going to rotate open to whip your upper half through. That's going to keep you away from the ball more because let's just say we were a little bit late. If you can do it in proper order and proper sequence, then the body will absolutely work in the yellow zone as well. It's just not going to be as consistent. Because if you can think of this, if you're trying to hit the 9 to make it go out of the park, and you're above the ball, like at this point in time, if I get it down here, I can't even see the 9 anymore. So even a 1.5 feet below my vision, I can no longer see the 9. I'm looking at the outside of the 5. Okay, so like I can see about right here, but as soon as that thing gets a little bit low, I can't see that outside half anymore. So we have to tilt our body and go get it, all right? So what we're gonna do here is I'm gonna take my bat, and it's a little difficult to see, but I've chalked up my bat where this to this area is my red zone, and here to here is gonna be yellow zone, and then here's my green zone. So this is gonna be where I'm looking to have the strongest attack, the longest whip, and that's what I'm always gonna go for. Unless, of course, I want to hit a ball on the ground on purpose, in which case I'd let it get a little deeper and work my yellow zone ground ball. I'd then go for like the 3-6 spot to try to aim it lower. All right, so let's just say this pitch is right here, about hip high. When you set up, you can think about this as you need about 1 foot of space, all right? So if I were to get to where I could reach, and it would be 1 foot away from me, this would be a great spacing for my green zone attack. Naturally, I now have enough space to hit the ball with my arms spread out, kind of like whipping around like a helicopter. Oh no! Like a helicopter. So if I'm going to try to hit the 9 spot on the ball, if I'm going to try to go green zone, I need 1 foot of space from where I can reach. Okay? So right now, this is where most players would kind of sit up, all right? And this sitting up is putting me more in line to hit the 1, 2, 3 because my body's more upright. My fast whip is going to take my arms out at shoulder level. So because I'm planning on turning this really fast, I'm not planning on my arms being down here to hit. Therefore, I have to fly my plane, all right? So this is, when I bend forward, this way, where my butt moves back, okay? This is my sagittal bend, like my ability to bend this way and that way. Hips forward, hips back. Hips forward and hips back. When I push my hips back, my head gets closer to the plate, and it also gets closer to that outside half of the ball. This is the position that you want to hit from, this bend like this, except we can also bend our legs, like our knees. All right, notice I didn't do this. I didn't swing my knees back up underneath me to bend. I just kept my butt over there, and I balanced equally. You're also trying to stick your butt over here because you're going to be swinging a weight around your body, and you have to counterbalance it. You can't just sit here and stick this bat over here and stick your butt up, because the weight is going to pull to that side. So if you counterbalance it and you push your weight over here, and you keep bending your knees, it allows you to go get the ball much further than if I were to push my hips forward at the ball, causing me to hit the ball back here. That's about 1.5 more feet of travel time. And if you can imagine the best hitters in the game, if you can imagine the best pitchers in the game, their goal is going to be to move the ball this last 3 feet. So how about going to get the ball before it even moves? Way out there. You're not going to be able to do this on every pitch. But having the goal to do so would definitely put you in a better position to hit the ball hard. Now that you understand like the spacing that's needed for a green zone, you can understand that if I push this ball back at my last point of contact, so if I stayed here, I would need to hit the ball here. If I didn't react on time, then my body would naturally start to adjust kind of upward to create the space that's needed. This would be more yellow zone. See how my arms are lower than my shoulder plane? My hip is closer to the ball than my shoulder is, and my shoulder is what's swinging the bat. This could not be my fastest rotation. Fast rotation, again, equals arms out. Things that spin very quickly and have things that are hanging, like those swing things at the fair, right? Like you go on those swing rides and it starts to spin and those swings raise out. That's what your bat's going to do, except it's not starting on the ground. It's starting right here. The faster you turn, the more it's going to whip out. That's the goal. This is our fastest attack. That's our most powerful hit. So we got to engage the core and go for that green zone like. See how my legs turn? When my green zone attack is in line and I have time for this, it's my back foot that does the rotating, and then my chest goes through. And that brings my bat all the way around to left center field. See how my back is twisted all the way to the plate? My toe is pointed all the way to left center field, or even further. If I turn my toe back, I'm now pointing more up the middle. This is where I'm going to hit the ball there. There. Here. Here. So if you're trying to pull the ball, the goal is to get that front foot down, get to the outside half of the ball, and turn your shoulders and your foot, shoulders, and it brings the bat naturally. And as long as you keep your eye on that 9 and you swing to the field that is open, don't swing at the ball. Swinging at the ball looks like this. Swing through the ball to the open field. Boom. Staying away from it so I don't hit it. So let's look at the yellow zone real quick. If I pushed my hips forward, or if I was late on this ball, I would need to push my hips forward to raise my body up in a position that I could still reach this with the green zone part of my bat. If I were to stay low like I had attempted in that green zone area, and I stayed here, it would now hit the yellow-red zone part of my bat. That is why players will stand up, pull their head back, pull their shoulder out, collapse their backside. All of them are coming from the same thing. The ball is getting too close to their body, and if they stayed nice and bent, they would hit the wrong part of the bat. So the body rises up, and we catch something like that. And really, I'd say players are closer than that even. They're more getting this ball in the red-yellow zone. And it's no wonder, because that's what we see on TV all the time. You know, there's very few players who actually reach for the ball out in front. Anyway, so we got our yellow zone here, and the closer this ball gets to us, the more my body is going to have to put the brakes on and turn this side. If I have weight on my back side, it's really hard to turn that. That's why you see sometimes a lot of guys in the MLB, they'll come up off of that foot and turn because you're digging in with this foot now. You can't rotate into it, especially if you've got metal spikes on. That's digging into the dirt and catching it. That's why those guys get up off of their back leg and twist. Because they don't have enough space to really get off of it and turn it. If they got off of it, they could rotate. But since they're not getting off of it, they either pick their foot up and this rotates around like they roll that ankle, or they stay right here and just roll the ankle. Boom! Still a great hit. It's just, again, not as consistent. Why? Because I can see the 1 and the 5, not the 9. The closer this ball gets to me, the more I lose the vision or the view of the outside half of the ball. And the more I'm likely going to hit the middle of it, and as it gets closer, back here. These are foul offs. This is not where we want to hit the ball. You have to understand this is moving and it's going to bounce off and slice that way. If you can catch this ball before it ever starts dropping or before it really starts to curve, you push out there and you go meet it and tell it where to go, that ball is going to fly. All right? Enjoy your workouts. Go attack the 9 spot if you are a right-handed hitter. Go attack the 7 spot if you are a left-handed hitter. And if the ball's going to the opposite side of the field, you're getting hit in the yellow zone. So just start sooner. Tighten up that core from 1 to 4. It's the last reminder right here. Tighten up that core from 1 to 4. That's how you swing to the open gap. Swinging at the ball would look like, and I fly that way. Sometimes that's the swing that you're going to give because that ball is going to be too far outside and you would have had to have gone and reached to make it go that way. Don't think that you have to adjust your actual swing. Your brain will do it for you. When you commit to hitting the ball to your pull side gap or down the line, commit to it. Do whatever it takes to make the ball go that way. Just try it and see what happens. Chances are when you mishit that, you're going to hit the ball to the opposite side gaps on accident. It's going to happen naturally. It's the laws of physics. Trust me on this. Go, play hard, know where you want to hit the ball, and just dig in.